It all starts with a CV.
You can start with your CV, but you can start much earlier, like connection networking on LinkedIn or other platforms. If this is not the case, you should have a very good CV who talks for itself. I'm interested in someone who gives me non-verbal signals. In sales, there are some personality traits that should be given, like communication, persuasion, dedication, discipline, etc. So if I see this on the CV, I'm very eager to talk to this person. If I don't see it, I will have some question marks, because you can't teach CRM, you can't teach techniques, you can't teach closing techniques. You can't teach someone persuasion and dedication and maybe resilience. This is something which is not teachable. First, get some education. So just train interviews. Find 3 people making a very nice, warm and welcoming interview with you, one very neutral and one very bad. You need one interviewer who is very harsh to you. Second is build your network. Investigate people. Try to find out where was the last company party from your dream company. Third is you need to contact some people. Send text messages to people. Very low level. Do you have, let's say, 15 minutes for a chat? Send your branding before you enter the market.
Thank you so much for listening to the first ever English sales podcast for the German-speaking market. Before we continue, I want to make you a promise. I promise that with this show, I will do my utmost best to bring in the guests and share the stories that help you succeed in the DACH market. But I can only do so much. So, if you hit the subscribe button, I can get more guests, bigger stories, and better insights to help you succeed in your sales job. So, with no further ado, sit back, relax, and let the show begin. Toygar, why should someone listen to this podcast today?
Very good question. Everyone in sales in the DACH region should listen, because we will talk about career development and enhancing their own career for the path of success. So therefore, everyone who's interested in getting a better position, getting more salary, should be listening.
So I was thinking about this podcast episode quite a lot, because for me, the growth into sales was actually such a big step, because I've never done something like that before. So what I'd like to do is I would actually go step by step of how the experience was for someone not like have never sent a CV, etc., etc., and then going from there to having a conversation with the manager about salary, going into promotion, etc., etc. So my first question, Toygar, especially with sales success, sales career, it all starts with a CV, right? Or would you say actually you start earlier?
You can start with a CV, and I can tell you that you are not an exception. So there are a lot of people who are in working in sales that have had no contact and no touch point with sales before. You can start with your CV, but you can start much earlier, like connection networking on LinkedIn or other platforms. If this is not the case, you should have a very good CV who talks for itself.
Talks for itself. What do you mean by that?
If I try to fulfill a position and recruit someone for my sales position, I'm interested in someone who gives me non-verbal signals. So someone whose CV is convincing. What do I mean with it? In sales, there are some personality traits that should be given, like communication, persuasion, dedication, discipline, etc., etc. So if I see this on the CV, I'm very eager to talk to this person. If I don't see it, I will have some question marks, and then I will push this CV maybe to the side and read the next one and the next one and the next one. So the CV should be very convincing. I want to see very quickly that the basics are given and that the person has the right personality traits, because you can't teach CRM, you can't teach techniques, you can teach closing techniques, whatever, but you can't teach someone persuasion and dedication and maybe resilience. You know it. You had the experience. Imagine what would happen to you if after your 15th rejection and 15th no, you would give up without resilience, and your HR would say, sorry, we didn't pay attention to her resilience. It is something which is not teachable.
And do you feel like you can represent that in a CV? And if so, how?
Yeah, of course you can. So the CV is something like I don't know if it's the right way to say it, but if someone imagines Tinder or any other profile, so we send a message to the world which needs to be proved. So I can write maybe one sentence. I am a very resilient person because of, and then you have one sentence, because I have no problem if I hear a no 7 times, because this gives me another push to try 8 times. Or I am very persuasive because I give all my effort into it to reach my goals. I am very disciplined. I can motivate myself, which I have proved in my prior job or in my studies or in my whatever field of life, doing this and that. So it is just one sentence or 2 sentences that you need to prove. And if you can prove it and if you can say it, people will invite you, or your chances are higher and the odds are on your side that you get invited to a job interview. And then you need to convince people verbally after your CV.
So you're saying the CV should definitely recommend show the resilience. You mentioned at least I've heard a lot about coachability. Like, are they able to learn things? Would you say you have to? Because I've seen some CVs when we were hiring Toygar. I've seen some CVs that was like an essay of, I think it was a novel. It was like 5 pages. This, then, and I just didn't know.
Senior position or junior position?
That was junior.
Okay, absolutely forget it.
Yeah,
exactly. I wouldn't say forget it entirely, but there is a reason behind this. But sorry, I don't want to interrupt you. So very long CV. What happened to this person? Did they get hired or not?
No, they did not. We did speak to them just out of politeness, in a way.
This speaks for you, because no one would have invited them, and you were open enough to say, okay, let's give a shot.
Yeah. But what we found was they really struggled in getting to the point. Like, they really struggled to cutting to the chase. And I wonder if that was also reflected in the CV in that one. So what do you recommend? How much do you actually have to put on? And what can you leave?
There is a reason behind these extraordinary long CVs. The reason is because people can't get to the point, and people have a very, very big lack of communication. So if you can't sum the things up, and you know it from your calls with your prospects or with your clients. So if you can't come to the conclusion, and if you can't come to the point, and you overload your prospect or your client with too much information, too much explanation, they get bored. But if you can say, if you are confident enough to say, this is Helena, and I have this, and this for you, and this matches your needs ABC, and this is the price for it. I make it very short. Then everyone knows what you do offer, what you are expecting, and they know, okay, this girl is really, really straight in her business. But if you struggle saying, Mr. Prospect, how are you? I was wondering if you have a problem that we could solve for you, maybe, but I don't want to push it, blah, 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 blah. People say, okay, hang on, please, it's a waste of time. So the recipe for a good CV is not the layout. It is always 1%. It is not the layout. It is the CV should reflect the job description. Every job description, which is, let's say, roughly okay, not the best, not the worst. If it's okay, then there are some words like, we are looking for someone who is, let's say, dedicated, highly self-motivated, strong communication skills, and let's take these 3. So then you pay attention. Highly self-motivated. What does it mean? This means someone will let me alone very, very short after my starting date. So I need to be able to gather all my information myself to find my way through. So am I this person or not? If I'm this person, very cool, check. Am I communicative? Yeah, of course I'm communicative. I have no problem to talk to foreign people that I don't know. Very cool, check. And I forgot the third one. So if I match this, I need to put it in my CV. So because there is one secret in recruiting, which is the ATS. It's a software which is called Applicant Tracking System. And this controls and makes a match between job description or job ad and your CV. And normally the job description is uploaded, and the only task is compare our requirements to the incoming CVs. The requirements are communication, self-motivation, blah, blah, blah. If you see it in the CV, please check the bar, cross the bar, and send an invitation email to the candidate. So you have crossed the first step, you have passed the first step. So this is a very, very big and very important secret that you need to keep in mind. You don't need to extraordinarily explain your character and your dream of life and your openness, blah, blah, blah. You just need to meet the criteria that are described in the job description. That's the secret.
So show the resilience, adapt it to the job post, use the language that they're using, which is, I think, an amazing advice. And it's so underrated. Picture or no picture in the DACH market?
I don't care. Honestly, I don't care. If you think that you are good looking, put it on. If you think that your appearance is not really creating positive vibes, then skip it. But very important, one thing: don't fake it. It's not about faking. It's about you need to show your traits in the way the company wants to hear it. It's not faking. It's not to pretend that you have a personality trait or the motivation that you don't have. Don't do this, because they will know within seconds in the job interview.
One question that popped up while listening to you is there a difference in a female and a male CV? And that sounds weird, but I was just wondering, because especially in sales and maybe even in DACH, I'm not sure. I never thought about that, but now when I was listening to like the photo, and someone once gave me the advice, just put a photo on it because you're a girl, and I'm like, okay, that I never thought about that, to be honest. Do you see differences that people should be aware of?
I never experienced the difference. As a recruiter or headhunter, because our clients don't require this. So and they know we wouldn't work with them if this is a requirement. But I experienced it myself when I was younger. As I said, if you think that you're good looking, you can give a little push. But it is a complete bias. So if someone is on the other side who's good looking too and sees, oh, Helena, she's good looking too, I like good looking people, you will get your invitation maybe a little bit faster. And on the other side, and this is a matter of fact, if someone on the other side is really ugly and is jealous of your appearance, then she or he will say, damn, I'm not good looking and this girl is gorgeous, I will definitely not invite her. This can happen. This is human. Of course, it happens. People delete CVs because of fear and of competence and competition. This might happen, but honestly, I would, with this mindset, you shouldn't send your your CV to any company.
Yeah.
But it can give a push. If it's a neutral, nice picture of you, not very outgoing, put it in.
Yeah.
Especially in Germany, we like pictures. We want to have a feeling of the person.
Which brings a bit back the point that I have heard from so many people talking about sales in DACH. It's not only data driven, it's actually quite like relationship trust based. So if you like the person, you are more likely to trust them. So that is super, super interesting. Let's just reverse the roles here, right?
You can test it. You can test these and you can prove it for yourself, because this is a very let's say widespread bias. So people tend to either reject or accept people that are similar to them. So what happens when a very, let's say, unexperienced recruiter sees your CV? So either he or she says, I am sympathetic, I am a very warm-hearted person, and Helena looks very sympathetic and warm-hearted, so I will invite her because I feel a connection. And in the interview, they will look for points to prove their first ideas. She's really sympathetic. She's really warm-hearted. So definitely we should hire her. Or it is totally the opposite. I have the feeling Helena Klaus is not really sympathetic. She is not warm-hearted, but I need to invite her because of my numbers that I need to fulfill. And I will sit there in the interview with you and I will look for the points that makes you not very sympathetic or warm-hearted. And then I will reject because I have proved myself that my gut feeling was good. This is basic human psychology. But you can test it if you contact the people maybe upfront on LinkedIn, or you can contact them via Instagram and just follow their content on their pictures and get a feeling for what they like or what they dislike, and then you can act accordingly.
Oh, I like that. So you literally,
It's a
as
bit
an
sneaky.
actor, it sounds like I'm studying a character, right? I'm studying the person and understand what makes them tick. Like, why are they doing what they're doing? That's fascinating. Let's reverse the roles, right? Let's say from a company perspective, I want to expand into DACH. What do I need to put on the application? Like, what do I need to put on the job post to attract the right people? And what do I not need to put on it in the DACH market? Like, are there cultural differences, number one? And number two, what are the things that really need to be on it to attract the right talents?
Yeah, I can give you an example. We had a very high class job to recruit for a South American tech company, big one, stock listed in New York, etc., etc. And they were expanding to Germany and had a very big multi-billion client in Germany before they were here. And they were looking for something like a country manager and head of sales and marketing, something in between. And they had a clear expectation, and we said, sorry, these expectations will never be met in Germany because the culture is not as you expected. So at the end of the story, we found someone who's very good, very eager, very open, positive, etc., but not really matching their initial criteria. But they understood that people in Germany are more dedicated to appointments. So we had 7 times a postponing of interview dates. Because it was very normal. Oh, it's Carnival in Rio. We can't come to the course. Okay, but you don't know it now. You knew it weeks ahead. That Carnival was. Sorry, but the colleague decided to go to join the Carnival party. It's no problem. We will call you tomorrow. And the candidate was here, and he was a little bit struggling, etc. And we are talking about the job paying 200K in a year. So you need to be aware that people, when you expand to DACH, you need to what we say, you need to pick up the person where they are. So people will not accept your behavior, not your culture. You have to accept their culture, their behavior, etc., which is one of the main things. Second is you need to understand yourself and your company culture, and maybe you should adapt and make some minor changes, because when you come from South America or from Asia, maybe your culture will not work as you are used to be in Germany. The German market is really, really difficult to enter, but once you can master it, you can make big money in it. And you need to be very clear and precise in your communication. So why are you coming to Germany? What is your strategy? How do you define success? What is your success expectation in Germany? Is it clients from day one? Or do you want to be well known, or do you want to join some events or whatever? So be very, very precise and clear in your expectation, and very clear and precise in what you are willing to offer. Is it money? Is it a long career path? Is it a development? Can I make an international career within your company, etc., etc. So you have to open the books for the people. You have to open your heart, the emotion, etc., etc., and then you should post some job ads and descriptions.
With that in mind, do you feel like there are specific things that German-speaking sellers are looking for in a company post, like in a job post? Like, is it the money, or is it the progression plan, or?
And money is always important. So if someone denies money as a good reason,
Yeah.
he or she is a liar. So money is always important. But at some level, money gets not much more important than any other thing. So if you have a good salary that I not to, if that doesn't make me ashamed of when I'm sitting with my peers and my friends,
Yeah.
would be very good. If you have a good progression plan, it was good. But I people need a purpose. So it's a very inflationary used word, but we need purpose. The purpose shouldn't be something like save the world and peace and whatever. But why is your company existing? Why do you think people need to buy your product? Why do you think or believe that you have a reason to come to Germany? And which part do I play there? Which role do I play in your vision? So give me a reason to be part of it. We see it in football. There are coaches where players say, once in my life I want to play for this trainer, for this coach. So if you can make this happen as a company, you have won the race. Otherwise, you have to pull and push, which is no emotional belonging and identification, and this makes you struggle because you know it and I know it in the SaaS industry.
Yeah.
There are high salaries, but
Yeah.
companies paying high salaries, but they struggle to recruit the right person.
Do you feel like companies usually know that? Because I'm just thinking, I can imagine that
No,
if you,
I
yeah,
can answer no.
okay. How can they figure that out? Like what, yeah, how can they figure, I assume in working with you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Guys, I put his contact details in the notes. Just FYI, if you're a company trying to expand in the DACH, reach out to Toygar. He is one of the best men in the industry
thank you.
I have ever met. Toygar, I'm a big fan of your work. I'm a big fan
Thank
of your
you.
knowledge. I've seen that in
Likewise.
your masterclass. So this is why if you're a company expanding, the contact details are in the notes. Sorry, I
Thank you very much
interrupted
for
you,
the
Toygar.
nice word. No, of course, first of all, come to us. Second, we give a lot of free information. When many companies are not aware of their failures and mistakes they do. But let me explain it like this: you need a partner who understands your business. So speaking from our perspective, when I understand the product, when I understand the price, when I understand the deal cycle, and the numbers and the leads, etc., then I can say, look, guys, this makes sense or this doesn't make sense. So if someone is expecting, let's say, 20 grand in revenue per sales guy, with a product of 99 euros a month and 20 leads, it doesn't work. So no one, maybe some very young rookies will buy the story, but I will not buy the story because the numbers doesn't make sense. So you need to make your math and you need to explain why you are planning like this. Second of all is, the question is, what do we expect from our employees? And most importantly, is our expectation reachable? Do we really offer all the resources, all the timings, everything to meet our expectation, to reach our goals? So if you don't deliver the resources, the timing, the financial strains, etc., so no one will make the job. And if you don't know it, two things happen. First, companies get cheeky and say, these candidates were rubbish because it's always their fault. Or we need to increase salary and we need to push them harder. It's not the way it works. You need to have a good model, like your R&D and for your product. You have developed this product over months or years, maybe. So you need to have an HR product. How do we get the people in? How can we train them? How can we identify them? How can we retain them? How can we develop them? Etc. And it needs to make sense. And if you strongly believe that you make everything right, then maybe you should apply for your own company and live the whole process. And if everything is okay, maybe you're right, but I bet 10 grand that not everything will be okay. And your application maybe will be gone like the wind, or will be forgotten, or maybe you will be rejected even if you are the CEO and the founder of your own company. It happens every day.
One thing that really stuck with me watching your masterclass was you mentioned the importance of an applicant asking themselves, is that the right company for me? Because I feel like a lot of people who are applying to a job, they feel like it's almost like a needy position. It's like an inferior position of I need a job. I need them to help me. But the way you described it in your masterclass was just so mind blowing. Do you mind just telling the audience what do you mean by that and how can they pick their right company for them?
I don't remember the exact words, but it is absolutely mandatory and necessary to ask yourself very honest questions, tough questions, and to be very, very honest by answering them.
Yeah.
So if you are in the right place, you might be in the right company, but on the wrong job, which is no problem. So you can change the job. You might be in the right job, but on the wrong company, so you will never be happy. And if you make everything wrong, you are on the wrong job, wrong company. So you need to be very honest with yourself. What type of person am I? Am I a guy who is working under pressure? Am I a person who is depending on other decisions from other people? Am I a person of selling cheap products, cheap subscription, or am I someone for the big tickets, whatever? So really many questions that you need to ask and answer for yourself. If you don't do it, you lie to yourself and you will move away from the human being that you are. And then you have a real problem, because when you are working in a position that is not your ideal position and you move away from your personality, this is a fraud. This is an economic fraud, because your employer has hired you for who you pretended to be, with the personality traits that you pretended to be, and you will never be happy. We have some common friends in the industry that you know and you remember, who had burnout or some mental struggles, etc., etc. And now they are stronger than ever before, because now they are in the right position in the right company.
Yeah.
And second of all is, which is, you need to ask yourself, how do I lead and how do I want to be led in a company? So not every leader is made for you, and you are not the leader for everyone else. So you might think that you are the best leader for any company, but it is not the case. And you don't want to be led by everyone. So there are maybe guys or girls who I don't know, but there are people where you say, oh, this is a good leader for me, so I see myself working for this person. And there are some assholes that you don't want to work with. And you need to be aware of this, and you need to know yourself very good.
Super interesting. Let's move on from application interview. So now you found the company that you're in. You're exactly where you want to be as a company. You found the top seller in DACH. You're super, super happy. From a seller point of view, you feel like you hit your target. It's time to talk about a raise.
Yeah.
Everyone I know from a sales rep perspective, including myself before I did the first one, now I feel like it's fine because I kind of understand it. I understand the business mind, but I was terrified of having that conversation. I'm like, excuse me, little Helena here. Baby Helena would like to have some more monies. And then, there's a lot of things to think about, Toygar. How do you approach that?
I'm a little bit older than you, much older than you, so I have a little bit more experience in life. And I had enough time to gain some confidence. So first, the first problem is application. So when little Helena applied for the first job, maybe she was like this, oh, thank you for your invitation. What I do in my TikTok lives, and I make a weekly TikTok live with young people between 18 and 25, they are telling me always the same. I'm super nervous. I don't know what they want to ask. And I said, look, you need to straight up take your head high. You are invited for a reason. This company has a problem that I can't solve with the existing stuff. You are the potential solution for a problem. They invite you because you might be the savior of this company. Maybe for a little team, maybe for a little problem, but they invite you because you are a potential solution that no one else can solve. It might be paperwork, it might be some innovation, whatever it is. They have a need to invite you first. This gives a very big confidence push. Second, when you are in the job and you make a good job, the biggest mistake that you can do is to go to your supervisor and ask him, "Oh, look, guy, I made $1 million in sales and I want to have a big portion." It is not like this, because the company doesn't work like this. Million turnover or revenue doesn't mean profit first. Second, you don't. It is just one piece of job, and your salary is a little bit of it that needs to be paid. So there are some other people who need to be paid from your 1 million, and other people have gained some other things for you to make a place that you can work on. So what you can do is you can go to your boss, and this is my biggest approach always, to say, "Look, my salary is here, my salary expectation is here. I have fulfilled my potential, I have fulfilled my personality traits, my whatever was needed for the job. I have shown it to you, and I utilize it for you every day, and I'm willing to utilize more in the future. But it is your job now, and I would be very happy if you can help me to reach from there to there. Please make a plan that I can reach this step, let's say within a time period of half a year, 1 year, 2 years, whatever. And I bet 10 grand, 9 out of 10 supervisors or CEOs will not say no. They will say, "You know what? I understand that. You are a good employee. You're a very good salesperson. You are a good fella, and I will think about it. What we can do? Maybe not 1 year or 2. Maybe not the biggest step. Maybe a little bit under it, but you deserve it. And there is no argument against you. And you need to be confident, because you gaining money, you gain and contribute to the company's success. You gain and contribute the culture of the company, and you are willing to do it in the future even more. And you want to develop your personality, etc., etc. So, but you need to know where the journey is going to, and it is in the obligation and in the duty of your supervisor to identify a way to make you reach your potential in a financial term. And 9 out of 10 always accepted.
I think what is so crucial, what you said, is just understand the mind of the other one, right? Like, rather than going in and feeling like, yeah, but I am doing my work, I am fulfilling my job in the end, and then come in, yeah, but this is why I want to have a raise by next month, and ideally it's double.
You have been paid. You have been paid for that what you are reporting. You have been paid for the last year.
Exactly.
So you need to provide more to get more.
Yeah. And just meet on the eye level, like, just rather than saying, I'm expecting this to happen tomorrow, servant, just say, this is where I'm at right now. This is where I want to be. What's the plan? Like, what's your plan? I really, really like that. Also the transparent communication. Again, turning it around from a company perspective. If you're in a situation where you just can't offer more money at the moment, and the economy is weird, you have to stabilize the business, etc., etc. What are the ways to keep sellers in DACH?
And we are experiencing these times nowadays. Yesterday, one of the biggest German companies and one of the oldest skipped the cakes in meetings. So you are not offered any cakes at ThyssenKrupp Steel. I don't know if it's really good. And there was a press release: no coffee, no water, no cookies in meetings anymore. No, this is real life. So economies doesn't go up permanently. Times might change. Companies might struggle, etc., etc. So what you can do is first be very honest, very early, very honest. Second, you can make a promise. You can make a promise. Sorry, we can't raise salaries this year because of ABC. But what we can do in the meantime is we can offer you let's say flexible working hours, let's say home office, let's say whatever it is to make your life comfortable on some other areas, because we want to offer you something, and we owe you something to make your life easier. If money is the only crucial thing, you will lose this conversation, of course, because people will go. But there is nothing like we will work together for the end of our days. But what I like is to make a promise, to say, look, company situation is here. We need this, and we need you, and we want you to stay. But we can promise that when you stay from this to here, we will make a raise, we make a development plan, whatever, and we can confirm it by today. We make a promise, written promise for you for today, and hope to reach this level, let's say, faster than planned or whatever, and then we will pay this. What happens mostly is companies recover, and for any reason people forget their promises and can't understand why people are leaving. So make a good promise, be very clear and transparent in your communication, and try to find something else to make life more comfortable or easier for your staff. And I can promise, not everyone will take it. Not everyone will accept, and they will say, no, I will work like I worked yesterday. I don't need home office, or maybe I don't need whatever it is that you are offering. But it's good that you made a promise. I'm on your side, as I was like yesterday, and I will be on your side tomorrow. And hope we go through together, and then let's talk after whatever it is.
What if the person who's asking for a promotion or a raise, what if they're saying, well, the last 3 months I have overachieved my target, so I'm expecting an increase now? You know, because I feel like in sales, there's a lot about, I'm only allowed to be an SDR for 6 months. Otherwise, I'm a failure. I need to get promoted and raised, etc., ASAP. Otherwise, I'm not successful. How do you tackle that from a company side?
First, it's not true. So we both know SDRs who are dying for their job, and maybe they get promoted within the SDR channel, but they remain SDRs and remain voluntarily in a position where they can call clients. So if someone holds a pistol in his hands and wants the now or never decision from you. It's a tough question. You need to think of your company, but you need to think about your culture. So, are we a company who accepts such a behavior? I don't guess so. If you are relying and depending on this person, of course you can try to expand the time to look for another solution. But everyone in sales knows that a time period of 3 months or 6 months is not enough. So maybe you had a very good quarter. Latest the summer quarter will be bad as crap. So what I think is a good idea is to say, look, 1 quarter is not the basics of our analysis. We need 4 quarters or whatever it is. We need a longer time. Let's look at the longer scope, and this is the only thing that we can do. So our policy says that we need 4 or 5 or 6 quarters, and we can promise you if your results are remaining that good, we can give you an increase, a raise, or promotion, or whatever. For promotion, it's very easy because who wants to be promoted? Mainly the person who made good results in terms of revenue and new clients. A promotion in Germany is mostly leading other people. So someone who is really good in operative day-to-day business is not automatically a good leader. A good leader is someone in every company where people go voluntarily. So this one person that you want to have a chat with, this one person that you trust your secrets, this one person that knows everything within a company. Yeah. So this is someone like a leading position. Leading position is not the gratification or the celebration for your past sales year. Because then, what is happening then? When you had a perfect year last year, 2023, Helena, it was your best sales year, and I promote you. What do? I take you out of your field of excellence and put you in another field where you maybe will struggle, maybe not, I don't know. But why shouldn't I leave you there and say, okay, repeat it and make it better because you can do it. You are dedicated, you are passionate about it. I leave you there because this is the best that you can do. And maybe I give you a raise, I give you some good stuff like a company car, whatever it is, vacation, whatever. So I want to replicate it again and again. I don't want you to take you out of there, make you frustrated just because a promotion is expected. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah. I feel like you bring two very, very important points up in here. The first one is that clear communication. Where do you want to be? How do you get there? Talk to the company talk to your sales rep. Just be transparent, work on something together. Communication. The other point, which I feel like is completely underrated, it's values. What type of person and what type of company do you want to be? Do you want to have that Wolf of Wall Street? You gotta grow without, with all collateral there is. Or do you actually want to have a place where people have the time to grow, where people are allowed to make mistakes without feeling like they're being fired, etc., etc. And the same for sales reps. Do you want to be a leader? Like, is that aligning with what you're trying to do? And the same with your own values, which I feel like in sales, it's often, unfortunately, I know too many sellers who did lie even in the forecast, or lies in meetings with prospects. Oh yes, of course we can do that. Oh yes, of course. Don't worry.
I love those forecast meetings.
And it feels so wrong. And so sticking to your values, and that's what I've noticed also as a business owner. If you are not true to yourself, you will eventually get lost, and that is an awful feeling. So I think if anything, taking that away from this episode is for me so important.
Definitely. It is. You need to understand the product, the business, the market, but most importantly yourself, and the value that you bring to the table, and the culture that you want to contribute in, because there are cultures from the outside, they look great. So startups, let me just show off a little bit knowledge. There are four types of cultures, just four. Not more in the business world. First, it's a clan culture, mostly startups, young companies. What happens is you and I found a company together, and what happens is we are some rebellious people. You are important, I am important, and we want to change the world. It is not a permanent culture. Then we develop. These clan cultures always develop. They never remain the same. We go either in an autocratic culture, which is always innovation driven, always competition fighting, but always on the edge. These are the companies who are going all in with every new product. We need these kind of people who like action, thrill, living on the edge, having $500,000 on the bank account, and next month maybe zero. So it's always going up and down. So this is autocratic, always risky. Then there is a market culture. Market culture is more like outgoing culture. We are always in competition, but we are grown up now. The most important thing is how are we perceived in the market? Perceived in the market. Which image do we have? Which place in the market do we have? But it's not growth anymore. And the fourth is a hierarchy culture. We have structures. The SDRs, senior SDRs, etc., and we don't change it. So the question is, where do I want to work? Of course, every company has more than one aspect of the other ones, but if you want to have this clan culture, you need to make sure that it remains 1 year, maybe 2 years. Either they go bust or they grow up into some other culture. So do you want to have a supervisor above you, then go to the hierarchy. If you want to be a good market position, go to the other ones, or if you want to be risky, go to the other. So this is a very, very big asset if a candidate can answer for him or herself questions like this. And of course, how mentally strong am I? Because you know it, I know it. Sales will never go like this. Sometimes you call 100 times and you get just no's, and sometimes you call 10 times and get 9 yes. Sometimes people buy, sometimes people don't buy. Sometimes you're in a competition and your colleagues outperform your list, your numbers, etc., etc. And this changes your mental health. If you want to survive in such an environment, you need to answer yourself how strong you are mentally, and if you want to work there or not. And it starts with yourself. So the company, it's always the company. They just can offer you some working environment, targets, money, resources, etc. But you have a big responsibility for yourself and for your soul, and the soul part is always forgotten.
How do you know that before you join a company, though? Where do you see the little hints?
If you have never worked in any company before, of course you can't know it, but you have a sense for yourself. And let's say in the first 3 months you should know everything within the company. So the culture, how do they handle failure? Do they embrace them or do they slap you? How do they handle bad behavior, etc., etc. So you need to observe, you need to listen, but you need to mark your red lines for you without removing your red lines, and say, okay, this my tolerance is overreached now or broken, so I need to go. You have to stand for yourself. Because the company will not come to you and say, Helena, have you seen? We don't communicate like promised, but it should be okay for you, right? You will stay. No, I will not stay because I see things that are not acceptable for me. I don't want to have things like that in my life. So you need to fight for yourself. The company will never do this for you.
With all of those changes here, and you already touched upon the reaching out to people on LinkedIn, getting to know the way of doing, that's one advice that I've heard as well. Like before you apply for a job, reach out to someone who is in your position and ask how the job is, which I really like. But how important would you say in nowadays life, and social media is just everywhere, how important is personal branding in that, in the recruitment process?
Personal branding is the game changer. So I am the best proof of it. From my working perspective, I wasn't visible in the internet till 2018, and with COVID and very close to COVID, I get more visible, and I'm something like the winner or one of the winners of COVID. So personal branding is very, very important because we get applicants for jobs that we don't have. People writing us every day. Do you have a job? Do you know someone? And companies come to us because they say, it's a kind of marketing if we can publish job ads saying we are working with you, because they see us maybe more visible they are, or our brand is more bigger than their own. So if you are a good seller, and we know a few of them, life will be very easy till you get visible. The road to visibility might be very, very struggling and demanding and not so easy. But to drop a few names, Jan, Carolina, for instance, you, Mattia, you post good stuff, not always the nice stuff. Sometimes provocative, sometimes controversial, and put the finger to the pain points, etc. And people identify, and people get the feeling they know you. And if people get the feeling they know you, they automatically and subconsciously trust you. And then selling is easy. And I guess it happened to you as well, that people said, oh my God, it's Helena calling us. Maybe she will sell something and we will definitely buy from her. Because it's some kind of honor.
Yeah, it feels surreal. I agree. And it also helps for me as a company to see what's their style. like posting. I kind of get a gist of them. I have two more questions. One question, Toygar, and I feel like that is the one that everyone asks themselves. Like, I had so many companies ask me that question, and so many sellers ask me the question. What is a normal or the benchmark of a salary of an SDR or an account executive in DACH? I knew that you would laugh about this. I knew it. This is why I kind of gave the entrance with, you might hate me or love me for this question, but what's the benchmark that people can work with?
From a perspective of a candidate or from a company?
Both.
Okay. Okay. As a company, as an employer trying to come to DACH, I would say you need to communicate your product, your pricing, your product, the number of leads that someone needs for it, the sales cycle. So if you sell 20 or make 20 closings per person per week, of course it's a high-paced business, and if the price is $4.99, you won't be rich, but so you can't get pay high salaries. But if the price is, let's say, $5,099, then of course you need to pay more. The salaries developed. I remember that when we recorded our master classes, the average salary for SDRs, totally average across all products and all pricings, were below 40,000, I guess, without bonus for juniors. And there was a push. We are now far away from 40,000. I checked the numbers, I don't know, maybe in summer, I guess, July, August, roundabout, and we are between 44, 48,000, if I'm not wrong.
The base,
The base, yes, starting.
Yeah.
More is always welcome. It is starting for juniors, and even little bonuses between 1,000 and 3,000 euros for the first year. I guess the truth is some in average between juniors and professionals, let's say 60, 65, I guess. Account executive should be, as far as I know, not below 75, 80, and this is also base with very different bonuses. There are companies paying 20%, companies paying 100% bonus on top, but if you exceed, etc., etc. So this is from the perspective of an employer. From the perspective of candidates, you can ask always for more, but you should be realistically with your effort that you bring to the table. If you are junior, have never worked in sales in the DACH region, I honestly say 44, 45, 48,000 is a good starting salary, because you have not proved your performance. So you have to prove it. And if you prove it, and if you listen to this episode latest, you know some tricks to increase your salary. But honestly, 4K a month is a good salary for a job that you can mostly work from home, have flexible working hours. Of course, you have pressure, but compared to many other jobs, it is a good salary. And within 3 years, you should reach your, let's say, 70, 80,000 euros.
It's so ridiculous to listen to that, because when I started, I was an SDR in London, and I earned, to be fair, I was living on 17K, so 17K a year. And then out of nowhere, I had 28. I felt like a rich bitch. I was like, don't worry, guys, the bill is taken care of. And then out of nowhere, you're account executive and you're like, oh, wow. Okay, wow. But yeah, I see the exact same numbers in the industry that you mentioned. I just started way early, way before then. My final question.
26 is, I guess, the minimum wage in Germany, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like, so 28K in pounds as well, but I was living in London when, the rent is already taken half of your arm. So my last question, Toygar, because I always ask my guests that question, because I want to make sure that whoever's listening to your episode can use it right away. What are the 3 exercises or tasks that someone can do both perspectives, sales rep or someone who's trying to get into sales in DACH and companies trying to hire in the DACH market. What are the 3 things they can do today to improve their career or hiring game?
Easy. If I'm a candidate trying to work in a DACH region, first, get some education. So train with your friends, train with your partner, whoever. Interviews, just train interviews. And find 3 people making a very nice, warm and welcoming interview with you. One very neutral and one very bad. You need one interviewer who is very bad to you, very harsh to you, because you need routines. People will test you definitely, and you need to stay calm. You need to be, let's say, not without any emotional reactions, etc., etc. So you can train every day. Second is build your network. Investigate people on LinkedIn. Investigate people on Instagram. Try to find out where was the last company party from your dream company. Who is the person who is mostly on the pictures? Why is this person on 400 from 410 pictures? Is it the CEO? Is it his wife or the husband or whatever it is? So try to find the patterns. And third is you need to contact some people. You need to contact some people within the company, because if the company is not big, someone will just drop your name. We have an application from Toygar, and someone, Toygar, which Toygar? I know one Toygar, good guy. I like him. Yeah. I ride with him. And then, okay, you know him, so we hired you, and you know the other one. Why shouldn't we hire him? So it's like your gamble game. For companies trying to recruit and hire in DACH, it's the other way around. Send text messages and active sourcing messages to people, very low level. No, not something like, we are a highly motivated company, blah, blah, blah. Just say, look, we are not in Germany or in Austria, Switzerland, whatever it is. We are not there yet, but we are looking to. You seem like a person who is very, very, very good and one of our good candidates for us that we could recruit. Do you have, let's say, 15 minutes for a chat? Can we get in touch? Can we know each other? Whatever it is. So you need to get in contact with people. You need to send your branding before you enter the market. Second, you need some partners, of course, Helena and myself, of course. And third is you need to identify your questions of truth. What do I expect, really? What do I expect honestly when I am alone? How can people meet my expectation? Do I deliver and offer all resources and whatever tools are needed to meet my expectations? And how do I want to be perceived in the market and for my employees? And if you can do this and answer that correctly, life should be easy.
I love this, Toygar. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for all of the insights. I feel like there's so much more to unpack. So I will ask you if you're available again, just to wait my call. Toygar! Toygar, thank you so much. Again, guys, if you are interested in learning more, either through his masterclass, I am linking it in the notes, or just reaching out to him. It is, again, someone I can highly recommend. It was such an honor to have you here, Toygar. Thank you so much for your time.
Nice for having me. Thank you for having me.